Hi, this is Ishan Shahane from RevSportz, and you're tuning in for Teeing Off with RevSportz. I have Bharat Ramaraj, Raja Raman, and S. Kannan joining for the show here today. Thank you all for joining, and thank you to all our guests. Raja, the some match that we witnessed last evening, it's not often that both the teams go on and score above 230 to 240, and just a full-on batting display, a dominant batting display that everyone could see and witness. So your first thoughts on the game, and I think it's a very fascinating game to discuss. So we'll have to break it down. So first, I'd like to ask you your first thoughts and a word on Travis Head, because whenever he faces the team wearing blue, somehow he manages to score runs. So your first thoughts.
Well, initially I thought this was a graveyard for the bowlers, and I felt sad for the bowlers. But when I
Yeah.
saw Pat Cummins and Jaydev Unadkat and even Bhuvaneshwar Kumar come back so strongly, they had a good 5 over spell in which they tied down the Gujarat Titans. It told me that if you are creative, if you're the thinking kind of a bowler, you could restrict the opposition batters, no matter what their mood is. I think it was fascinating to watch that contest. Ishan, you and I both are on the same page when we look at cricket as chess being fought on the cricket pitch. I thought it was fascinating that Sunrisers Hyderabad bowler came back with a plan and executed it brilliantly. I think
Yeah.
that passage of play was really fascinating. While all the big shots, the fours, and the number of sixes would have entertained the fans, and I'm sure it did, and would have riled a lot of traditionalists. I think it was fascinating to watch how Pat Cummins led the bowling attack. His captaincy was spot on,
Yes.
and how Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Jaydev Unadkat responded after going for a few runs in their first overs.
100%. Kanan, we spoke off camera as well, and you mentioned Pat Cummins' captaincy as well. So why don't you have a word on Pat Cummins' captaincy, and where do you think he was right, and where do you think Hardik Pandya, the captain, faltered?
I think you asked me a very loaded question, but I will try and answer it without getting gung ho. Firstly, my words on Pat Cummins. I think he's a brilliant captain. I think even last night, when we were watching the match and discussing on WhatsApp group of RevSportz, I was telling Bharat on Pat's captaincy. This is not the first time we are seeing him, perform so well as a captain. I think he's cool, he's mature, and I think he spent time at home recently, and that's given him the good mental space to be relaxed. We've seen what he did in the ICC World Test Championship final. We see what he did in the World Cup, and now we are seeing him at Sunrisers Hyderabad. Don't forget that Sunrisers Hyderabad, even in their earlier avatar of Deccan Chargers, they were always the underdogs. But yesterday they showed they are the bulldogs, bark, bite, and the kind of performance. I still think that as much as in the IPL, it is not just the captain. There is a coach. There is a director of cricket operations. There's a mentor. I still think finally when you are on the field, you're facing the
Yeah.
heat. You have to take the decisions, and maybe with a team like Gujarat Titans, Ashish Nehra on the boundary, running in his typical way and in giving instructions work. But no, this is cricket. This is not like that. So this is where Pat Cummins, I think, caught the eye and mature, cool. He handled it very well, and he bowled beautifully. I think that was the creativeness and using Jaydev in output. I think they went for runs. It's not that they didn't go for runs; they went for runs, but they took wickets. And as Rajaram said, that those 5 overs were crucial. Mumbai were also scoring, but they knew how to pull the choke chain. And
True.
as regards Pandya, I think I'm seeing a very different Pandya. The Pandya I saw in 2 years at Gujarat Titans and the Pandya I'm seeing now, it's like cheese and chalk. Uh, what's surprising me is that he seems scared. He seems afraid. First match he bowled himself, which seemed a wrong decision. I don't know, the way he's using Jasprit Bumrah looks odd to me. And first 7 overs, 5 bowlers. If that is a strategy, it didn't work. If you're preserving Bumrah, no, you needed to get wickets. You would have done that. And I think I would love to see Hardik Pandya still bat up the order in the absence of Surya Kumar Yadav. Maybe come at number 4. That would
Yeah.
have given him a chance to settle down, play. And someone needed to score 100. If not Rohit, if not Ishan Kishan, then maybe Hardik Pandya. That what was missing, and I don't know how it is going to be forward. But yes, when you lose 2 matches in a row, the mindset changes, and you cannot get defensive. So I think all Mumbai Indian fans will want this team to win. They've got the firepower. They've got Rohit Sharma. Obviously someone whom you can walk up to and ask for advice. You've got Jasprit Bumrah whom you can consult. You've got someone like Sachin Tendulkar as your mentor. And, yesterday it was a very nice sight. 200th match for Rohit. I'm sure it's not a great memory that you lose this match. So that's about it. But yeah, there's still a lot of cricket left. We're still early days in the IPL.
You're right. I think a lot of pressure might be mounting on Hardik Pandya's shoulders at the moment. But we'll talk about the young talent here as well. Bharat, Abhishek Sharma put his hand up and performed yesterday for the Sunrisers. So this is good news for Indian cricket overall because here's someone who wasn't really in the spotlight, but now after that knock, he's suddenly part of that scheme of being selected in the Indian team, maybe in the future, if he obviously continues on performances. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, first of all, I think I have to give credit to SRH because they have backed him to the hilt. He's gone through periods in the past where he wasn't performing well, though he was doing well in domestic, but in the IPL he wasn't doing well. But this season, yeah, especially yesterday, played really well. He has that nice flow of the bat. On occasions, he looks like a bit like Yuvraj Singh. I'm not saying he's similar to Yuvraj Singh, but a bit like Yuvraj Singh he bats. So yeah, it was good to see him play that way. Even Naman played yesterday really well. Even when Pat Cummins was hitting the deck hard and getting that bounce, he seemed like he could bat against him. So good to see a few youngsters putting their hands up and doing well. I wanted to add one point about say someone like Pat Cummins. I think the key about Pat Cummins' fast bowling is his fast bowling mindset. The way he changes angles. For some batsmen, he's hitting the deck hard and going going at the body. For some batters, the angle is slightly away from the batsman, and for some batters, is bowling those slower short deliveries. So, someone who is thinking on his feet and executing it, and that tells you something about his experience and about his skills.
Yeah. And Raja, I've been thinking that a lot of talk's been about Klaasen at the moment. So what do you think he's eating? Because whatever he's touching and hitting, it seems to be going out of the fence. So Henrik Klaasen seems to be a different beast at the moment.
I think it's in his name, class completely, right? Not about what he's eating, it's about the mindset to me. He goes in with such a positive mindset. But yesterday, I think he was lucky. One, the pitch was fairly flat. And the other thing was Abhishek Sharma had set up a beautiful stage for him. Everybody else who preceded him had set up a beautiful stage and he could bat explosively. There are situations where if you've lost 3 wickets, then you bat very differently. So yesterday he could just free his arms and go after the bowler. And it was a free for all. And the way he batted, I think it augurs well for Sunrisers. But I will still say that at some point of time, the curators in Hyderabad need to think about the bowlers. You can't bowl them to the ground, even though they're bowling only 4 overs, but 4 overs for 60 for a 17-year-old debutant left-arm fast bowler from South Africa. You can't be so heartless. I think while we all love those 4s and 6s, we also want to see some kind of support for the bowlers. Of course, you have to be creative, you have to be innovative, you have to think better than the batter. But at some point of time, curators need to have a heart for the bowlers as well.
Yeah. Karan, is there something that you'd like to add to that? And I would like to know your thoughts on Bumrah's bowling because here's one bowler who actually stood out in yesterday's game. Besides him, everybody seemed to be getting punished.
I think I'm with a bowler like Bumrah. He's intelligent, he's creative. Whatever the format, T20, ODI test, whether it's a white ball in his hand or whether it's a red ball in his hand, he's going to bowl, And now he's fast, he's nippy, he can use the bounce as well. And even on this dead wicket where he was not getting really, pushing through, had he been bowled earlier, I think he could have taken wickets. What is important that you use Bumrah? As regards Bumrah, I think he's got that experience. He knows how to handle it. He's very, very cool. He smiles. You normally see fast bowlers are call of grouchy. If you've seen someone like a Dennis Lilly, you would look angry. If you've seen Imran Khan, he's all fired up. He wants to destroy the batter at the rival end or he wants to break the wickets, whichever way. But with Bumrah, I think he's got that maturity. But yes, I fully agree that this kind of wicket, if you prepare a belter, it's bad. It's bad in the sense that there's nothing for the bowlers. You're going to see so many runs. At one point of time, I thought I was watching a PSL, Pakistan League, where they've shortened the boundaries and only 6s, no 4s even. So that it looked like that. But then this is not a small ground. Let us not mistake it. This Hyderabad ground is not a small one. all that reaction which I have seen on social media, fans have enjoyed it. But yes, you must make it a level playing field. Give something for the bowlers. Even yesterday in the second innings, you saw there was no assistance. Whatever was done by Pat Cummins or by Jaydev, it was their own creativity. It was their own experience how to use the ball, as Bharat also pointed out. I think there must be something in. Until now, we are not saying any due factor or anything like the ball getting wet. So I think wickets are going to be a big factor. But how much can you change so soon? How wickets have already been prepared. You can't alter the texture or the surface so soon. And of course, there are about 2, 3, 4 pitches in between. Which one do you pick? Which one don't you pick? Is the big question. But to say that just because it was a flat pitch and Sunrisers scored runs would also be wrong. I think they batted beautifully. It was a launching pad, and that launching pad gave Klaasen, I think instead of K, we will put CLAAC, and that was it. It was a masterclass in batting. And the big difference between SRH and Mumbai, I think Mumbai didn't have one person who would go for a big knock. Someone who could have planned 100. This was a day it could have been done right at the top, whether it was Ishan or Rohit. That's how I feel. And looking ahead, yes, we hope that the pitches are more sporting.
True. Bharat, we'll talk about the game that's building up today. We'll like it if you could build it up for us. The Royals are taking on the Delhi Capitals. Rishabh Pant will be seen back in action. Obviously, Sanju Samson is in good form, and the Royals will be hoping that they can keep up the winning momentum because, this is a team that starts off well, but then in the later end of the tournament tends to, tie off and not really keep up to its original pace. So, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, see, Royals also have it's not just Sanju Samson, they also have a good bowling lineup. If you notice, they have a lot of variety in their bowling attack. They have Trent Bolt, this Nandri Burger, I think adds some variety as well because he's someone who can bowl fast from ball one itself. Maybe they keep saying fast pitch muscles, whatever it is, fibers. He has a lot of them. So they have a lot of variety. Obviously, Sandeep Sharma has been in really good form, someone who bowls within his limitations. Yeah, the Royals have a really good lineup. Yeah, Josh Butler's form in recent past has not been good. That's something that could be hindering Royals, not just for Royals. Even if you look at how he has played, how he has played for England, his form has not been great in the recent past. But you expect Royals. I somehow have a gut feeling Royals will come good today. They have had their problems in the past when they start well and afterwards they kind of regress. That's something that you can connect it with Sanju Samson as well. Actually, Sanju Samson starts well in a tournament, in an IPL tournament, and after 5-6 games, his form kind of nosedives. So, the way captain plays is connected to, I guess, how Royals have played in the over a period of time. So that is something that they would want to correct. As far as DC is concerned, they have a good batting lineup. Again, a lot of focus would be on Rishabh Pant, but he's just easing into competitive cricket. So he has to be given time. The fans have to be a little bit patient. I guess it will take a few matches for him to come back into form. So hopefully today will be that day.
Yep. Let's see. I think all of us can hope that the Royals can continue on with the momentum. Moving on from the IPL, Raja, Bopana and Ebden have made it to the semis in Miami. Your first thoughts on that, and how do you think they're going to fare?
See, Rohan is easily the best ambassador India's got in tennis at the moment. And I think he's done himself proud. He's focused on playing one match at a time. I got to work with him from very close quarters last year. I got to see him prepare and I got to see him enjoy his game, and he's able to lift his partner as well at the same time. And he's like a grandmaster on the tennis court, and he's thinking all the time. And we must only celebrate Rohan Bopana as he gets closer to that dream of doing well at the Olympic game. That will be one dream that if he can fulfill will be really wonderful. Who he picks as partner is going to be interesting to see. But Paris 2024, I think that will be the highlight for Rohan Bopana. If he can get to the medal bracket, it will be a fabulous end to a great career. He's been terrific for sport. And no matter who his partner is, Ishan, he's been able to bring the best out of that partner. And I think he's a wonderful human being. And that's what comes through every time we get to see him play on court.
I couldn't agree more, Raja. And there's one more question for you because you weren't part of the morning show yesterday. The Blue Tigers obviously could not fare well against Afghanistan. All of us over here would like to know your views because it was a disheartening performance and a lot of fans were completely let down. So, what do you feel of the whole performance by the Blue Tigers and where do you think they faltered?
Ishan, we got a sense of what was going to happen in the match a day before. The RevSportz team, which was present in Guwahati, was telling us that the Indian team was tense and the Afghans were enjoying their practice sessions. I think that makes the difference. If you're thinking you're leading 1-0, you've got just a few minutes left, and you can seal a victory after so many matches, then you're paying a price for that. So you didn't have too many bodies behind between the ball and the goal. When the first goal was scored and the second goal, I don't think we can even call it a schoolboy error from the goalkeeper, from the Indian goalkeeper Gurpreet. I think it is sad that India has lost that game, but like good sports people, like good fans, like good students of the game, we need to continue supporting this team and hope that they can produce the rabbit out of the hat and still get to that third round. Yes, it was disappointing, but we've got to get over it, get over that, because the sun has risen already twice after that.
Yes, true. And Kanan, moving on to badminton here, Sindhu Sumit Sikki pair reached the 16th round. So these two have progressed and they're doing well. So I want to know what you're feeling on how the progression is looking at.
I think we are looking at the last 4 weeks before the official cutoff for the Paris Olympics. Obviously, every match which Sindhu wins is very important because she's coming off an injury break. A month ago, she played in the badminton team championship and played a stellar role. After that, maybe her performance has not been up to expectation, but I'm not really worried about it because she's very, very happy mentally. You see her social media posts. She's working with mentor Prakash Padukone, and the way RevSportz has featured Padukone yesterday, and we've seen that Vimal Kumar is also helping her. So she's got the right support group, and I'm fortunate to know who's working with her physically. I don't want to name on air because of confidentiality reasons. So she's really putting in the maximum effort in terms of training, getting strong. And Sindhu's tall; she's got the strength. The game revolves around power. Let's not forget she has the experience of 2 Olympic medals. That's fantastic, and she's trying to attempt a third medal. Before this, only wrestler Sushil Kumar had 2 Olympic medals back to back. So Sindhu qualifying is there, and you talked about the doubles pair; they are there. As regards Pranay has almost made the cut. He's on a break because he's getting his gut issues sorted with treatment. As regards Satchi, we know that they're also there. Lakshya Sen is also promising to do well. So I think this is virtually the last important tournament, and every result here is going to count. And when the cutoff is announced in April, we will have Indians there, 2 in men's and 1 in women's singles plus the doubles. Maybe if you have 2 pairs, it'll be fantastic. But yeah, racket sports. If you're looking at, I'm going back to Rohan Bopanna. I think he's at level 44, and he brings the best out of partners, as Rajaram said. And Matt Ebden was a choice, surprise choice pick last year. He never imagined that they will do well. And for both of them, it has been fantastic. We've seen from the Australian Open till now. So just wrapping up for the Olympics, I think racket sport, we are there. Even in table tennis, we are doing well. But yes, badminton, we will keep our eyes focused, trained as much as we see Delhi Capitals versus Rajasthan. An eye on badminton as well as Miami, Rohan Bopanna and Matt Ebden.
Thank you, Karan. I think that's very well answered. And thank you to all our guests who have joined, and thank you to everyone who's been watching us. This sums up the end of the morning show. We're going to leave you with a special backstage with Boria package with Prakash Padukone. We hope you enjoyed.
Tell me a little bit more, Prakash sir, specifically about your time with Sindhu, from where you got her to where she is now. And now that she's almost there, she's qualified, fingers crossed for the Olympics. How are you looking at the next 3 months? First, Sindhu.
Well, I think first time I thought about approaching her was about 9 months back when she was going through a lean patch. she played the US Open, Canada Open, had lost in the earlier rounds. I think she had a few bad results, 5 or 6, bad results. And I read in the papers before that I didn't know her at all, other than meeting her at a few events. I didn't know her at all. So when I read in the papers, that she was, very down and, mentally disturbed, and in the sense, she didn't know what to do. So I thought, let me just approach and, find out because I was not sure whether, because I played badminton, almost 45, 50 years back. So things have changed a lot, and some of the players may not believe that, I can help or I can contribute. But so I was not very sure whether she will accept. I said, at the most she'll say no, like I'll manage on my own. So I approached her through, I didn't, have a number. I approached her through Viren, our OGQ CEO, because OGQ has been supporting her since the age of 14. So, Viren also said, I'll approach her and, at the most she'll say no, like it's okay. So, but if we don't do that, then I think we'll have a regret for the rest of, So then it so happened that I think she was waiting for me to approach her, and I think I was, I was waiting for her to approach me. So good that I took the first step. She was very keen. She said, she won't lose anything, so no harm in, getting started. But, initially the first first 2 or 3 weeks, because she had already committed to play 5 tournaments and she was outside. I think she had finished 2 and there were 2 or 3 tournaments more left. And to start off there without knowing her, without knowing any background, I've never worked with her, what her preparation is, what kind of, because I was not been following the, the elite athletes for some time. Because Vimal has taken over the day-to-day activities of Prakash Badminton Academy. So I was focusing more on the grassroots level, because I felt I had enough to do with the excellence part. So I had to start right from scratch. I didn't know any of her opponents. I didn't know herself first. What she does, how does she play. So I started watching a lot of videos. Then started talking to her over phone. And I think the very first 2 or 3 conversations we had, she got the belief, that I think both of us bonded and trusted each other. I felt that I could help her, and she also felt that I'll be able to help. So that's how the whole thing started. Initially, it was just to give her confidence. I realized that, that she was lacking confidence. It was, nothing to do with her game. I said, all that will take, when you come back, when we have a little more time, at least 10 to 15 days, when you come to Bangalore, we can discuss, what kind of training you've been doing, what needs to be done, what are the improvements required. So initially it was just, to give her confidence and, not game specific. So I think that helped her to some extent. But then, after that, she was to, play. I asked her to withdraw from the 2 tournaments, I think in China and Hong Kong or something, because otherwise there was no time for us to prepare, to talk and find out. So she withdrew from 2 of the tournaments and came down to Bangalore. I had exactly 10 days with her before the Asian Games. And, we worked a little, more on strategy and, on tactics, because she already had everything. So it was just that, to polish a little bit. So it was not that she was raw. So I think that was the biggest advantage.